It always gets me.
Just, hey, we're here. We're live.
Why
No
no
pixelations
music?
needed.
I feel like we deserve some type of music,
I'll give you some
of
music
intro.
for the 4 times we do this year.
Yeah,
Steven's going to get us some music.
I don't appreciate the lack of preparedness on our, like, at least the enthusiasm for another big time Kentucky matchup. No, we are not in Nashville. At least we are not, but we are very thankful to have a resident Nashvilleian already down there, just a couple of very short blocks away. Very grateful for Tyler Thompson to be down there and covering the game for us at Memorial Gym. But a big time matchup for the Cats, taking on a ranked Vanderbilt team where, Zach, a 5-game winning streak is ending tonight. Would you like to know the stat to get this thing started?
Give me the Stephen Peak stat. Let's hear it.
So Kentucky obviously riding a 5-game winning streak. We know this entering this one, so we know that part. But did you know, Zach, that Kentucky is 0-5 all-time in Nashville while unranked when facing a ranked Vanderbilt team? So
wow, Jack, I did not know that.
Vandy 5-0 in their own regard in this very specific matchup, and Kentucky 5-0 entering this very. So something has got to give. What is going to give tonight? Zachary Geoghegan in our sit-in chat.
The sit-in chat, yes. There's a couple of different factors at play here. The main one is Duke Miles is not going to play for Vanderbilt.
Dude,
so
what
that's
a massive development just 2 hours before tip-off.
Yeah, so I guess he's only missed one game. He missed their SEC opener, and he's going to miss tonight. He was listed as questionable last night and then got ruled out, like you said, a couple hours ago. But their second leading scorer through SEC play, 15.7 points per game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, almost 3 steals. His shooting percentages had dipped pretty significantly going into SEC play. Like, he's under 40% from the field and 31 from 3, but still like a very, very critical two-way threat for Vanderbilt. So not having him to go tonight is huge, because they basically just have Tyler Tanner and then the guy from Friends in their backcourt right now. So they really don't have many ball handlers to go with.
Can we not address his name at all in this entire thing?
Say the guy from Friends.
Guy from Friends. Do not say, because then, like, it could be Joey, it could be Ross. Like, the fans listening, if they don't know Vanderbilt basketball, they don't know who we're talking about. So it's just the guy from Friends.
Yeah, and you would know that all of their players are listed as point guards too. Shout out to Mark Byington. I guess that's he does that as well. Who's the first coach that actually did that? I feel like it was another SEC coach that did that not too long ago.
I don't know if they did it
about
officially in the actual roster. I think Mark Byington, that was the first time I had ever seen that. In terms
maybe
of,
I'm just thinking of something else.
Written in the. Well, I've seen some, like, there are some loser coaches that have just done, like, winner, like, like stupid traits listed in. It's like, no, that's a damn point guard.
He's a point guard.
That's a shooting guard. Just be real with it.
So, so they're down Duke Miles tonight. That's a huge loss for them. Former Oklahoma player. So not having him will be huge. But then you still got Tyler Tanner and Tyler Nickel, and then Devin McLaughlin, who Nickel and McLaughlin will probably remember well from last season. So they've got some good pieces from last year, and obviously they started off 16-0, and I don't know how highly they got ranked in the AP poll, but they were obviously up
10
there.
10 was the highest when they were 16-0.
Then lost 3-0, and then just beat up on poor Mississippi State a few days ago. So kind of an interesting little stretch they're in right now. But yeah, one streak will end tonight. Will it be Vandy's or Kentucky's? Hopefully it's Vandy's, because going 6-0, with Miles going out, that's not going to be reflected on the NCAA tournament resume and the quad 1 win or anything like that. So now it'd be real nice to win this game. The door has been cracked open for Kentucky to really go into Nashville and steal this one. And then, you got to play in Nashville in that weird court and all that. So that'll be fun as well to watch.
Shout out to our friends at Parlour Pizza. Parlour, as always, and appreciate their deliciousness and their hot honey pepperonis and their garlic breadsticks, just all of the deliciousness that comes with Parlour Pizza. We'll be giving our Parlour Pizza pregame predictions here at the end of the show, but appreciate all that they do. I'm very hungry for some Parlour Pizza. But Vanderbilt is a very weird team, because they start out 16-0, and when a winning streak starts like that to start the year, they're automatically on fraud alert. Like, okay, they're taking advantage of, if you go down their resume, even their best wins, quad 1 at UCF, how much it's a quad 1, but it's one of those types. It's like our version of that win at LSU, where it was a quad 1, but it's like,
Yeah.
Come on, that was a had to have it quad one. You go down the list. St. Mary's in Nassau, whatever. Good win for them. And then at Wake Forest, just 65th in the net, just kind of one of those tail end quad ones. So you get all the way down. They enter conference play, and you're like, man, I don't know if they're any good. Like I genuinely to this day don't know if they're any good. And then they beat Alabama, and they go,
Yeah.
you go, oh. Okay, well, yeah, they might be legitimate, start off 3-0 in the conference, and then they lose 3 straight, but they're all quad ones, and 2 of them were on the road, but two
Some
of
bad
them
losses though.
But 2 of them were by double figures. So
yeah,
are they good? That's my question to you. Is Vandy good?
I don't know. I mean, just at least the data through their 7 games says that they're like a middle of the pack SEC team. Like Ken Palm through their SEC games has them at 7th in offense and 7th in defense in the SEC. So that's kind of right in the middle there. And it seems like that's kind of what they are right now, but maybe they're just a streaky team and they started off hot, kind of hit a bad spot. And then, I mean, they beat up on Mississippi State by 28 points. Like they blew them out. Kentucky ended up blowing them out as well, but that was a struggle in the first half of that game against the Bulldogs down 12. So yeah, I really don't know. I think we probably won't even find out tonight if Vanderbilt's actually good or not, because now their second best player or second leading scorer is out. But that doesn't matter for Kentucky. All that matters is the quad one on the resume and getting in, helping out your net rating a little bit there. So, yeah, I don't know what else I was going to say there, but I don't know if they're good or not. So,
and we don't know if we're good or not either. So I think it's
Yes.
fair. It's a nice measuring stick game for both teams where we're going, okay, well, we like a lot of the things that we do. We like a lot of things that they do, but we've been proven to be vulnerable a little bit, and they've been proven to be vulnerable. What's going to win out here tonight? So it's a big, just on paper in general, the opportunity for Kentucky to win this game, keep this streak alive, move it to 6 wins, and then just kind of play with house money in that revenge game against John Calipari. Like, I think the worst thing that could happen is you lose this one, and then you kind of go into that one feeling some type of desperation and feeling like you gotta go down to John Calipari's house and win that one at Bud Walton. That's tough. I do like the idea of, man, you just win this one however it looks, and I actually feel pretty good about it, especially now with Duke Miles out. But if you can win this one, extend that winning streak to 6, you do feel like you're playing with house money, you're playing free. Yes, revenge is still a factor. You want to make up for where things went wrong at Rupp Arena this time last year, but you don't feel like you got to win it to salvage the resume and all that stuff, because you added another quad one. You win this one tonight and you're already back to four quad ones, and your resume is starting to come together. Like this is you got to split the week however it looks, but I think tonight gives you the best opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and this upcoming 5-game trip for Kentucky is, you're not road trip or anything, but the 5-game stretch coming up is one of the tougher ones they'll face all season. Having these 2 games this week, and I think as they were going to commercial, it looked like Arkansas came back from being down 10, and now they're up against Oklahoma early in the second half. So that's not too shocking. They'll probably that'd be a good win for them going on the road and beating Oklahoma. So they could Kentucky, that could be an even better win if they go win this one and then go into Bud Walton on Saturday. But after that, then you got the Oklahoma game in there with Tennessee, and then who's after Tennessee, and then Florida. So you got a lot of really good quad one opportunities coming up. I don't know. I don't think many. If you're being a realist, you're not expecting Kentucky to go 5-0 in those. So if you can go 2-3 or even 3-2, and really kind of steal this one, that sets you up in or at least a good start for this upcoming 5-game stretch, which is going to be important. Because like I said, I think that Oklahoma game might still end up being a quad 1, or no, it might be quad 2 because it's at home. So, but yeah. So the other
that
games
one's going to be a
1.
firm quad 2. You just got to worry about that one dropping to a 3 because they're 75 in the net as things stand today. So with it being at home, if it were in Norman, that would be a quad 1 right now. But right now, you're trying to hold on for dear life to keep that one as a quad 2. But no more quad 3s the rest of the way. It is only 3 more quad 2s the rest of the way. Yeah.
So can't lose those games, obviously, but you got to start stacking some of these quad 1s to really try and build your resume and grow up those seed lines. So really good opportunity right here. And like I said, if you win this one, you can kind of, I don't know, you don't want to talk about just going in there and losing on purpose, but the house money aspect of it, you will feel a little bit better about that if you're a Kentucky fan, knowing that you're won 6 games in a row, and as long as you don't just get absolutely torched by Arkansas, you could even go down there and win, and then you can really start talking differently about this team. But you got to handle it tonight, and I think tonight's going to be still a really tough game, even with Duke Miles out. Like, I don't know if the Vegas line has shifted or anything. I don't know what the betting line is right now on BetMGM, if it really like drastically changed or anything. But Vandy was still the obvious favorite, and they'll probably still be the favorite even with Duke Miles out because they've got some talent on them, and Mark Byington appears to be at least a pretty competent and good head coach.
I am pulling up the current latest and greatest odds, but in terms of the individual matchup tonight for Kentucky, Mark Byington's offense is beautiful. I mean, it's a well-oiled machine. You love just very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. How do you muck things up? How do you turn this into a rock fight and kind of get them out of their game? Or if you're Mark Pope, do you play into that and say, hey, I can, fight fire with that as well, because we, at our best, maybe not this year, but in general, the Mark Pope offense is supposed to be a well-oiled machine in a very similar regard. So do you play toward the identity or directly against it? Because we have seen them win in that way as well.
Well, I think that Kentucky's going to have a big size advantage. I think Vanderbilt's not a good rebounding team, at least comparatively. So I think that's a big aspect. If you can win the second chance points and win the offensive rebounds, that'll definitely help a lot, because Vanderbilt's been very good at defending the 3-point shot so far this season. So if you can actually, if Vanderbilt does a good job of defending the 3 and you can scoop up an extra, 4 or 5 possessions and muster up some points that way, I think that'll be a big important aspect of this game. And Vanderbilt's also like the top team in the SEC and not turning the ball over. Like, they're really good at not just being baited into bad miscues, essentially. So if you can get, Ortega away, pick 6, a couple of those, or like really try and muck things up that way and try and get the ball out of Tanner's hands and make somebody else make a play and force them into turnovers. I think that would be, like, especially because you don't have to deal with, because Duke Miles is more or less a point guard. He's not like he can't handle the ball. So he's a primary ball handler for them as well. So not having him will be huge. And if you can get the ball out of Tanner's hands and try and force turnovers from other guys that way, really attack the offensive glass, I think that'll be big. And then Kentucky's been really good shooting the 3. So hopefully you just, which one wins there? Does Kentucky's 3-point shooting that's been trending in the right direction, or Vanderbilt's good defense win out in this one? So if Kentucky can, get a few more 3-pointers to fall than Vanderbilt, I think that'll also be a big key. But the height differential, like, I think their biggest guy is like 6'10", and Kentucky has 2 of those guys. And then you got a 6'10" Mo Diabate who plays bigger than he is. So I think Kentucky will have a pretty good advantage down low in the paint. And then it's just a matter of not letting Tyler Tanner go for 30 points, because he can do that pretty easily. Actually, he can get a double pretty fast on you with points and assists. So, but they're still a talented team. It's weird how they've been streaky to start SEC play.
Yeah, and their 3-point numbers they've plateaued quite a bit to start SEC play, while Kentucky's 3-point numbers are going in the right direction. So you can stay at arm's reach there. Like, you can't have a Tuscaloosa situation where you walk into this building and they hit 13 of them and you go, all right, well, we walk away with a 20-point loss, and how did we get here? So just fight, in terms of complementary styles, make sure that you're, staying within a handful at minimum, because you can find a ton of other advantages elsewhere. You brought up the double-doubles. You brought up, Mo Diabate. How about the guy that went for 22 and 10 last year in a 103-87 win against Vanderbilt while he was at Alabama? We talked about the Tennessee game, how that kind of played right into the Mo Diabate game. This is another Mo Diabate game where you can really, really find a mismatch down there for him. So what do you think of Mo Diabate's chances to kind of emerge as an MVP candidate as we preview our Parlour Pizza player of the game?
Well, I was curious because I don't know, like, does he guard Tyler Nickel? Does he does he go down and guard McLaughlin? Like, kind of how do they do that? Probably ends up guarding McLaughlin just because he's a bigger guy. And I think at least defensively, the game plan can be a little bit easier for Kentucky, because now you've got Ortega, Denzel, and Colin Chandler. You can kind of all just mismatch on different, or like mix match on Tyler Chandler or Tyler Nickel. You'll be able to kind of spread the wealth there, at least from your defensive backcourt situation. But then having Mo, like, having a history against playing well against this team, that's big. Like we were talking about with the offensive glass, like if he can, because he did that really well at the end of that, the last game Kentucky played. God, I already forget who the opponent was. Ole Miss. He did a great job of that. And in the Texas game too, I thought he had moments of where he just really plays hard. And as long as he can get himself in the mix down there, he usually makes the right play, even if he won't pass the ball when he's around the basket. It doesn't matter because just get fouled. Yeah, just get fouled. And honestly, the shots he's been throwing up around the rim, a lot of them have been going in. So like, it's buddy, if just keep getting offensive rebounds and some putback opportunities, and you'll be perfectly fine. So I would love to see a big Mo Diabate game. It's definitely one that he can excel and thrive in. And I think Malachi and Brandon Garrison both should have opportunities to play really well in this game as facilitators and try and just pick apart the smaller bandy defense.
The BG game. It's BG time.
On a KS board was speaking it into existence, so I'm trying to give them a shout out.
I like that. I appreciate that. You never know when BG's time is coming.
He always really knows. Don't.
He always knows when BG's time.
I don't even think he knows. To be honest, it just happens. And he's like, it
hits him before anybody else, and when it comes, you better look out because the BG train is coming down the tracks, and there's no stopping it. Duke Miles' absence opens the door for a big Denzel Aberdeen game. Just on paper, Kentucky doesn't have a pure point guard. Like we know what we're dealing with moving forward with Denzel as the guy. You got to see what you can get out of Jasper Johnson. It's going to be kind of just a game-by-game deal with that. But Vanderbilt forces a ton of turnovers. They like to get up. They like to press. They like to really make life difficult for you. Those two together, Tyler Tanner and Duke Miles, combined for almost 6 steals a game. Like they're terrific in that regard. So to cut that in half and force, as you said, the guy from Friends to be the other complementary piece, definitely not the level of playmaker that Duke Miles is on that end of the floor. Big opportunity, I think, for Denzel Aberdeen to really take advantage of that. Obviously, the head-to-head, but this can be an opportunity for him to really take the game over and kind of win a one-on-one battle.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Like having 6'5" Ortega, 6'5" Denzel, 6'5" Colin Chandler, 6'5" Jasper Johnson going up against like kind of a smaller backcourt. Even though Tyler Tanner's a great steals guy, like he's still 6 feet tall, and he's not going to be stopping Ortega or any of those guys when they've got a head full of steam. Maybe Jasper Johnson just because he's so skinny, but even then, like Kentucky should be able to bully their way to the points, to the paint for some semi-easy looks. I think that Kentucky's been really doing a good job of living at the free throw line the last couple games. I think this is another one you could really try and live at the free throw line and just bully your way into the paint and try and abuse those smaller guards that Vanderbilt will try and trot out there, especially Tyler Tanner. Like if you can try and get him in quick foul trouble, maybe do the inverse Ortega Owe where he does, makes a couple of bad fouls at the beginning and go from there. But Kentucky should be able to get into the paint and attack really well. Like Vanderbilt, I was trying to look at any sort of damning stat about their free throws allowed or anything, but there's nothing crazy. Like they're just kind of the middle of the pack team in terms of how often the opponents get to the line. So I do think this will be a good opportunity for Kentucky to take advantage of that because you won't have a Duke Miles harassing you in the backcourt either. So all you got to do is just get around Tyler Tanner, who's a very crafty guy. Maybe just go right through him and try and get yourself to the line. So I would like to, if you can get another 30 free throw attempts for Kentucky, I think they'd probably win this game just off that if they can hit enough, obviously, but go above your 75% or whatever it is, they'd be in good shape there. So there should be an advantage there to try and attack that way. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition, I guess so.
Looking up last year's numbers, Denzel Aberdeen, 13 points on 4 of 12 shooting, but 4 of 7 at the line with 3 assists and 2 rebounds and an 86-75 win over Vanderbilt. So we're working with a couple of victories for the SEC guys. And Ortega Owe was Kentucky's leading scorers in both games last year in the split series for the Cats. Against at Vanderbilt and versus Vanderbilt in the response game. So big opportunity for a big Ortega as well. Let's start wrapping this. Any other big takeaways you want to get off your chest? Braden Hawthorne got is starting to get some backup reps there for the team. Is there any chance of a Braden Hawthorne burned red shirt tonight?
Boy, I hope not. Because that probably means something went wrong. So I'm gonna hope that that's not the case. But it's nice to see Braden get a little bit more run, and I'm sure he's getting more run in practice and in these pregame scouts and things like that. Just in the off chance that Kentucky's already got 3 guys that were listed as out tonight. Like, what's the chance another guy goes down? Like, you don't want to talk about it, but that's just how the luck has been with Mark Pope the last 2 years. So part of that is probably just him pre-planning a little bit, saying like, okay, if worse comes to worse, and if something happens and I really need to throw in Braden, like we don't want him to be out there like having just absolutely no idea what to do. So maybe that's part of it, is just giving him a little bit more involvement with the actual, pregame routines and practices and all that, and giving him a little bit of a larger spot just to see if, so he's, like I said, so he's not completely confused when if something bad happens and he has to get thrown out there, or hell, maybe Mark Whip's like, screw it, let's just do it tonight. Let's give him 8 minutes and see what happens. So I wouldn't expect that to happen this deep into the season, unless the NCAA is about to change the rules or something, which they very well could.
That is the vibe that I got. Just some of the intel that I got on Friday going into Ole Miss was that they were playing through him and utilizing him and just kind of incorporating him in different ways, like tenfold more so than we had seen at all from him up to this point. He was just a practice body on scout team alongside Reese Potter and all the GAs, just like, I remember the Caleb Wilson game. You remember they were like, hey, he's scout team Caleb Wilson, but he's been just kind of a gadget, Swiss Army knife guy. He hasn't been an actual, okay, are we preparing you for like live game reps? And this last week, for the very first time, is my understanding that the first time that they have embraced the idea of like incorporating him into game style stuff. But as we're seeing the season unfold with how many injuries they're going through, is that just more of a like, hey, we don't want to be absolutely screwed if X player goes down again to add to the list, and Braden's not ready to burn the red shirt. Like, I feel like they're kind of making up for lost time by playing through him a little bit more in a just break in case of emergency scenario. So I'm not anticipating anything with Braden Hawthorne. I have heard great feedback about him behind the scenes, but like if he was ready to break through, he would be on the floor right now. Like, I think that's something that fans should just understand, is he's a good player. His future is unbelievably bright. Like, the staff views him as a future lottery pick, maybe sooner rather than later, sophomore year, post year, kind of lottery pick level player, but not somebody ready quite yet to make that type of impact, especially not to burn a red shirt at this stage of the season. I think it would take a pretty big, it feels like it couldn't get any worse as things stand right now, but it would have to get much worse for it to get to that scenario. So hopefully we don't. Hopefully we see Kentucky figure it out tonight in Nashville. Memorial Magic. That building is known for chaos. Weird things have happened. Weird things happened last year. It was one of the weirder performances for Kentucky last season. So hopefully they can make up for what went wrong in Nashville or what went wrong in Nashville just a couple months ago, because that city has not been good to them this year. The Gonzaga game was like the worst we've ever seen.
Forgot that was in Nashville,
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So a big kind of regrouping opportunity down in Nashville. So with that, let's go ahead and share our Parlour Pizza pregame predictions. Give me your game MVP and your prediction score.
So I originally made my pick on KSR pre-Duke Miles news. I think I picked 83-80 Vanderbilt. I don't know. I guess I'll say Kentucky wins now. Why not? Let's just we're here, we're all amongst friends. We're just trying to have some fun, talk about the Cats. So I'll say Kentucky wins. I'll just flip the score or flip the winning team. I'll go 83-80 Kentucky wins. Ortega definitely is the game MVP because he just scores 20 points every game now. So there could be 4 minutes left in the game and Ortega could have 2 points. And I'm like, well, he's about to go to the free throw line 15 times or something.
He's going for 20.
He's finding a way to get 20 points. Like, he just does that now. So, I'll go Kentucky wins by 3. Ortega away MVP. Give him 18 points.
Well, I had a Kentucky 3-point win before the Duke Miles news, so maybe it was.
So you should switch.
Maybe it was foreshadowing.
Pick Vandy now.
Goodness, no. But I think it was just good foreshadowing. It just it was speaking to me that Duke Miles would end up being out. So I'm not changing my score prediction, but I am just that much more confident in my prediction that it is going to be a Kentucky win. I'm going.
You know what I just realized?
Yes.
Nick Roush has a son named Duke.
Yeah.
Jack Pilgrim has a son named
Miles.
I'm just saying. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Absolutely nothing.
Or everything.
Couldn't mean less. I'm going with an 84-81 victory for the Kentucky Wildcats. Ortega is also my game MVP. He's going for, let's say, he's going for 28 points tonight. It's going to be a 28-point Ortega night. And guess who my co-MVP is, thanks to our friends at Parlour Pizza?
Braden Hawthorne.
Andrea freaking Yelovich is going to come in and bang a couple of threes because that's just what he does at this point. He's been playing very, very well, and he's going to be rewarded by the basketball gods with more sustained consistency from the perimeter. So we have the main MVP as Ortega away. Andrea Yelovich is the co-MVP. And a big shout out to our friends at Parlour Pizza. As always, they are the absolute goats. Make Parlour your game day destination from award-winning pizzas like the Doctor or fan favorite hot honey pepperoni. My personal favorite. I'm the fan. I am the fan favorite for hot honey pepperoni. To Parlour's famous house smoked wings and extensive craft beer selection, Parlour has a menu that will please the whole family. Their locations on Harrisburg Road is just a short drive away from Rupp Arena. Shout out to our friends at Parlour Pizza. And hopefully we'll be doing a celebratory rapid reaction afterward. Tyler will be 2 boots on the ground in Nashville Memorial Gym, all the sights and sounds from there, hopefully celebrating a win with the team while we will be back here in the comfort of our homes, very warm. I hope everybody watching this is warm and can do the exact same under a blanket or a nice little, cup of coffee to stay up late for whatever you need. I hope you guys are doing it warmly and safely. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully we'll be celebrating right here on the KSR YouTube channel afterwards, so we will see you then. Go Cats.